Hello amigos, ¿cómo están? My name is Dan and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all about Classico Tapatio. For a lot of Chivas fans, the biggest game of the season. It's the one game that everyone looks for at the beginning of the season when the fixtures get announced. Maybe some others will look for the America game, but a lot of people, especially people that are based in Guadalajara itself, look for this game. It's a huge game whether it's home or away. This game is away, still local. Guadalajara is undoubtedly red, yeah, it's always a tough game to play. We are trying to get back to winning ways. We've lost a couple of games in a row now, which kind of unlucky. Like I said in the previous videos, Cruz I think we're lucky to get a win against us. I think that should have been a draw. I think that would have been the fair result. And Toluca's Toluca. They're blowing every team away right now, and they haven't lost a game so far. So yeah, not the ideal game in terms of trying to get back into winning ways. But again, Atlas are in a really bad place right now. They're not great at all. They don't have a good manager, and they don't have a good team, in my opinion. The only person I do like on their team is Poncho Gonzalez. I think he's a great player. It's crazy to see him play quite so high up the pitch, but I always thought he was a bit more of a midfielder. But still, but apart from that, I don't rate any of their players. And we absolutely dominated their game. 2-1 was the goal score in the score line, and I think that was a bit flattering to Atlas. We absolutely dominated them, 77% possession the entire game. Again, conceding first, conceding sloppily, Talavera making a little bit of a hash of things. Not great, considering the news about Malagon. We'll talk about him in a minute. Yeah, not great. Always going 1-0 down at the moment. It's not great, especially in a derby. You've got to claw our way back. We did do that, though. Hormiga, of all team players, scoring against everyone almost. Gets a really good goal in the 48th minute, which is great. Goes and misses a penalty. We had two Stonewall penalties in this game, which is absolutely unheard of. I actually tweeted out that Chivar is actually alive again, which is amazing. And he goes and misses it, and I feel like he's still got experience, to make, and penalties is a bit of it's more of a mind game, really. You got to fool the goalkeeper, you got to pick your way. It was a poor penalty, easily savable, and that's something he's got to work on. So then, obviously, when we get the second penalty late in the second half, it has to be a scoreable one because, like I said, it's a difference between a draw and a win. So Angel Sepulveda steps up, and it was a beautiful moment when the camera's on him talking to Hormiga, basically explaining to him, like, you've done your try, it's all psychological at this point, I'm the more experienced, I know what to do, I've done this before loads and loads of times, let me do it. And he took it upon himself to do it, and Hormiga's obviously going to go, okay, you're the more experienced player. I don't think Hormiga's ever going to put up a massive fight. And also, when you miss one penalty in a game, do you really want to start taking another penalty? Saka did it for us, I think, way back when, and actually scored the second goal. So, but if you miss two penalties in a row, in a game that we would have drawn otherwise, it starts to get a little bit mental. So, all massive credit to Sepulveda. He stepped up, he took it on himself, the responsibility, and nailed it. I mean, it was a brilliant penalty. Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, kind of just lazily chipped it into the goal. It was absolutely amazing penalty, really good for him. But that's another reason why we got Sepulveda. Hormiga's the star guy in terms of striking for Chivas right now. In the league, he's the highest scorer Mexican in the league at the moment. And all the praise and the attention's on him, and rightfully so, but we signed Sepulveda for his experience. This is what Chicharito should have been providing us. Assurances, like, okay, Hormiga's missed a penalty, I'm going to take over now, I'm the experienced guy, I've been in this league for loads and loads of years, I'm going to do it. And he did it, he nailed it, brilliant, all credit to Sepulveda, and he must know that he's second to Hormiga in terms of game time. But, he loves the club. You can tell he loves the club. We signed a lot of players in the last year or two. They really, really do love the club. And it showed. And, he took his shirt off and showed his shirt, which is great. Beautiful shirt, by the way. I'm going to get mine soon, hopefully. I think it's in the country now, which is great. And, yeah, 2-1 victory, great. Flatters Atlas, no end. we annihilated them. There should have been at least 3-1. They were fortunate to get the goal in the first place. Bless them, they thought they had a chance in this game. So 2-1 sounds like it was close, but it really, really, really wasn't. We just, Hormiga needs to work on his penalties a bit more. Maybe not take penalties for a little while. That's what Sepu is for. We've got other penalty takers. I think Richie Ledesma can take a penalty. Piojo can take a penalty as well. Leave that for a little while. Just score the outfield goals. His goal today, his goal in this game was brilliant. No disrespect to his goal scoring ability. He's got amazing goal scoring ability. Penalties just undoubtedly from what we saw in this game needs to be worked on, and fantastic for him personally, Hormiga. I think there were strong rumours going around just before the game that Dortmund scouts, from Borussia Dortmund from Germany, they had sent scouts to watch him for this game. Absolutely crazy. I mean, there is a German heavy link in Guadalajara, itself. So I was going to say it's crazy this thing that Dortmund scouts were going to be in Guadalajara watching two Guadalajara teams playing. But like I said, there is a strong link of German people in Guadalajara, which is cool, which is awesome. Jürgen Damm springs to mind. I mean, you can't get a more German sounding name than that. So maybe not. Maybe there is a strong link with Germany still in that city. I'm not sure, but historically there has been. So maybe not a total surprise, but it's really good to see because Dortmund's the kind of club that we could sell Hormiga. I mean, Hormiga touch wood, looks like he's going to go in the summer. Whether, we win anything this season, whether he goes to the World Cup or not, I'm pretty sure he's nailed on going to the World Cup. I'm preparing myself mentally now for him to leave in the summer. And if he does leave, Dortmund's a fantastic place. Bundesliga is a good league. It's not the best, but it's still a good league. And Dortmund, again, they're not doing brilliantly right now. Like they were on the clock, but they're still a good team. He will probably get a lot of minutes there, even just walking straight into the club. I think he gets decent minutes there. And it's produced a large amount of good players, and the rest of Europe takes note of Dortmund players that are doing well, especially strikers. So it could be a really fantastic move for him. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But all in all, I think it was a fantastic game. I think it should have been more goals. I think the amount that we dominated out of this, we should have scored a couple more goals. Again, that's something that we've got to work on. But it's just about getting back to winning ways. The last two losses have felt like gut punches. You're starting to think 2 losses in a row, is the wheels coming off? You're starting to creep into, is Milito flopping again? This is a huge win, fantastic win. The feel-good factor of this game has lasted me a really long-ass week of work, and it's been great to experience. And just ending the video, I'm just looking at the next couple of fixtures. Obviously, the table, Toluca is above us, they always are, but Cruz Azul being top of the table feels like a bit of a lie, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to be top for the end of the season. I think they are going to lose a couple of games. How Cruz Azul have only lost 1 game, I'll never know. They should have drawn that game, but it is what it is. We're looking into the next couple of games. Obviously, this weekend coming, we've got Santos Laguna at home. Again, I think they're still bottom of the table. Yeah, Santos are way, way down with only 5 points. So that's pretty crazy. So, a good opportunity at home against Santos, and then again at home against Leon, who are not doing great either. 2, on paper, with respect, winnable games that we should be winning. If we get a couple of wins there, then we're pretty much assured of a top spot for Ligia. And then it kind of gets into a little bit harder territory again. Rayado's away. Again, that's a little bit of an easy game, actually. They're in disarray at the moment, Monterrey. They lost the Classico Regio over there in Monterrey. I think it was this weekend as well, which is crazy. So they're in a bit of a wobble. Having said that, there's a couple of games in between them, between us now and playing them. So maybe they pick up a little bit of form. If they don't, if they keep flopping about, then I feel like that's a decent game for us as well. Pumas are at home as well. Pumas are doing a decent season at the moment. They've only lost 1 game. That's going to be a kind of a tough game. But at home, I always back us at home at the moment. Tigres away, game 14 in middle of April is going to be a huge test. They are resurgent at the moment. They're doing really well at the moment. And then Puebla away, Puebla at home, should I say, the week after that, towards the end of April. So, again, two games that are good opportunities. Another game that's possibly a good opportunity, and then another two games that are tough, and then maybe another good opportunity. So, Puebla have taken scalps this season as well, so not going to disrespect them too much either. So, um, yeah, just looking ahead to the two games. The next two games are home games, and they're massive, massive opportunities. Again, to get 6 more points on the board, get as high up on the table as possible, and like I said, once you get to Ligia, anything is possible. And if we can get a couple of wins the next couple of games, that's what, that's 8 wins. That's 9 wins. It'll be 9 wins out of 12 games. For some reason, it's got the Leon game as game 9 instead of game 12. I'm pretty sure that's because it was postponed. We should have played them earlier in the season. I think that was when we had a massive break because I think I'm not sure if there's. I think it's because of the things that were going on in Guadalajara. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I said, Santos and Leon next. Just massive games for us. I will be back to do the videos. I'll do the Santos game on Monday, which will be cool. I'm off Monday morning, so that'll be cool. And then I haven't looked far enough into March yet. My schedule to know when I'm doing the video for the Leon game, but. Yeah, starting to ramble on a bit, guys, but yeah, fantastic game. There's nothing like winning a local rival game, a local Classico. Guadalajara has always been and always will be red. Poor Atlas, they had a success fairly recently, but apart from that, they're a pretty trash team. Their stadium's nice though. I've been outside their stadium, which is awesome. But I hope to go inside it one day, to watch a game. That'd be cool. Going to this game would have been absolutely amazing, but couldn't make it. Yes, at the moment, all brilliant. Hormiga scoring again, great. Winning again, great. We just got to start continuing on this winning run right now, and yeah, we could still do something special this season. Again, we got to do better against the bigger teams, the better teams. Toluca's a monster. Tigres look totally scary. They look gettable, but they still, at the moment, they're in a bit of a good run of form. They are always a team that could do something against anyone else in this league. So we'll have to wait and see what they do and how we play them, in April. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know what you think about Sepulveda doing the penalty. I think that was a fantastic moment. Like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why we signed him. Back out for Hormiga, but also experience, a teacher, a mentor. I'll tell you that, Hormiga's been extremely lucky at his time in the Chivas first team. He's had Chicharito, arguably Mexico's best ever striker. He's got the goal record, and he's played for two of the biggest teams in the world. That goes for his favour. And, obviously Sepulveda, who you couldn't ask for a more league-proven striker. Absolutely bags of experience. And he's very lucky to get both those players basically teaching him how to do on the field and off the field things. I would imagine they're teaching him like how to behave off the field. He seems very grounded and very, I could never see him at a party, for example, like Vega. I could never see him drinking and getting caught drinking. We saw him the other day eating some tacos with his family. That's Hormiga. That's the image that he projects. That's the person that he seems to be, and it's great because it means that he's going to knuckle down and work and become a better player, and he's not going to get distracted like other players have in the recent past with alcohol and partying and women and all that stuff. I'm sure Hormiga's going to find. We may have a girlfriend, I don't know, but there's no distractions with him. So I feel like the only way is up for him at the moment, which is fantastic. And he's got he's had two amazing mentors, and I'm sure that's helped him in his progress. But anyways, I'm not going to make an entire video raving about Hormiga. I think, a lot of people do that already. But he's a star talent, and yeah, like I said, I think he's going to be the next player that we end up exporting to Europe. So I think we all need to get used to that because I feel like it's going to happen. But yeah, in terms of Malagon, like I said earlier, we've just had the news. I woke up to it just now, to be honest with you, that he's out the World Cup. He's done his ACL in or his Achilles in. He's done something serious, and he's out, and this sucks. And you might be thinking, well, as a Chivas fan, why am I not happy? Well, I thought Talavera was a nailed-on goalkeeper anyway for Mexico in the World Cup, regardless. And this isn't the way I wanted it to happen. Everyone's going to be like, oh, he only got it because Malagon's got injured. So he's going to have that over his shoulder now. He's going to have massive more responsibility now, Wangel, because he won't have Malagon to fall back on. He won't have Malagon to go, you know, don't worry about this, Tyler, I'll do this, don't worry about it. He's not going to have that now. And the goalkeeping pool for Mexico is extremely worryingly low. Acevedo, I don't think he's national team quality. I don't think he's good quality for his club this season. I think he's going through a tough season. And then Ochoa, who's like 54 years old at this point. I love Ochoa. He's a legend, a Mexican legend. But nowhere near starting a World Cup game for Mexico in 2026. And he probably will go as a backup, but it's just a shame. You never want to see a player, even a player in your bitter rivals. I talk shit about America all the time as much as I can because I think their fans need taken down a peg or two in some instances. But you never want to see their players go down and miss World Cups. I mean, that's such a low blow. And this isn't how I wanted it to happen for Talavera. People go, oh, who's going to be Mexico's starting striker, starting goalkeeper now? That's obvious. It's going to be Talavera. I mean, I think he was always going to be Tala. I think Tala was going to be the guy that was going to at least start the first game of the World Cup. But I didn't want it to happen like this. It robs Tala of a backup, like I said, of a mentor, maybe not a mentor, but a colleague. I think I don't know enough about them both, but I'm pretty sure they get on well with each other in the national team camps. And this isn't the way I wanted it to happen. And Tyler Angel could be another guy that could leave this club at the end of this in the summer. If he has a halfway decent World Cup, eyes are going to be on him. Goalkeepers, good goalkeepers, for relatively cheap. I mean, Mexico, Mexico sell their players, Liga MX sell Mexicans expensively is what I'm trying to say, but I feel like it's still relatively cheap for a top league in the world. French league, English league, Spanish league, German league, I think could look at Talamanca and see a decent bargain. So we have to keep an eye out for him as well. But yeah, like I said, the goalkeeper pool for at the moment for Mexico is really low, really bad, worryingly. Padilla over there in Spain, I think he's doing brilliantly there, but again, not enough experience for me. He hasn't played the national team nowhere near enough. Yeah, so maybe he needs to get more experience. I think Padilla may go, like I said, with Machoa, but I don't think there will be either of them starting their game. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. It's a bit of a long one, but I've been wanting to get this video out for a long time. I've got loads of things to say about it. Let me know what you thought about the game, Hormiga, Sepu, and what do you think we could do in the next couple of games? Do you think we'll have a good season? Do you think Cruz Toluca derailed that a little bit? And who else do you think could leave? Who do you think could go to the... Well, I'll pose this question. Which players do you think could go from Chivas to Europe next in the summer? Apart from Hormiga and possibly Rangel. Let me know down in the comments and we'll talk about it there. So, anyway guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the comments. So, have a really great week, and I'll see you guys early next week for the Santos game. So, take it easy, guys. Adios.